and play. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Well, that's real easy. I had a good friend of mine that used to run at the Greater Cincinnati Race Bowl. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. His name was Bill Bell, and that's when I was about 14 years old. And I continued that, I got through my life. I then went to drag racing, and bottom line, you had to win the race. If you won the race, they weighed you, then they tore the motor apart, and for what you would win, it cost more money to put the motor back together. So one night I went over to the old Northern Kentucky Speedway, and a gentleman who ran fourth drove his car into the pits, rolled it up on the trailer. A guy came by with a clipboard, gave him $400, he signed a paper, and off he went. I said, that's for me. And ever since, I've been around dirt racing.
You've met all the great drivers around here, like Chuck McWilliams and Billy Teagarden. What was it like, working with those guys? Well,
Chuck McWilliams drove for me, but before Chuck was Billy Teagarden. And I can remember the year, it was 1977. I worked at a Ford dealer in the Greater Cincinnati area, and as he was known as Dago, he called me and said, Webb, I've run into a good one. And I asked him, where's it at? He said, Paducah, Kentucky. I said, where in the hell's that? And it's right by the Illinois border. So I grabbed my wife, my two kids, off we went. I had a car back then, which was, I guess if you inspected it closely, illegal, in the fact that it had a in and out box for the transmission. And it was a $15,000 to win race, and back then that was a bunch of money. Billy Teagarden won the race. And when I went up and collected, the promoter said 3 words, don't come back. And that was that story.
So what was, you said it had an in and out box. Now, yes. Who built the car?
Myself, Ronnie Miller, and Rick Shepard.
What was it made out of?
Some of it on the right side was exhaust tubing.
And that...
That's the fact. The car weighed when everybody else was, the reason the car was very successful, the other racers, I'm going to say 99% of them were running big block Chevy motors and a Camaro body with a big frame and everything. And this car was like a tube chassis, and it was way ahead of its time.
So you guys pretty much just threw everything out the door.
Yes.
And said, hey, Billy, drive this car. What if he had wrecked it?
Well, his side was safe. The other side wasn't.